Hello, everyone. Brandon Furtick here with Minnesota Blockchain Initiative, and this is the MN Blockchain Conversations podcast from here at the QuantumLex studio at QuantumLex Law Firm in Minneapolis. Today, I sit down with Denarius Lewis. Denarius has spent much of his life in Minnesota. He graduated from St. Cloud State, and after that, he began to find himself and ascend within the world of cryptocurrency. Today, he is the Chief Marketing Officer for a startup called CornerMarket, which is a Web3 shopping platform. We discuss it. Of course, we also discuss, though, his time before getting into crypto, because after graduation, Denarius hit a bottom, and he found himself homeless for a period of time. This is such a big part of his story that he's written a book about it. So, as a professional in the space, and as someone who has demonstrated bouncing back in life, here is our conversation with Denarius Lewis. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Oh man, this is cool.
Hey everyone, my name is Denarius. I'm the CMO of CornerMarket, and I'm happy to be here. Just delighted to now be back in Minnesota. I've been on an international travel, really dropping our app CornerMarket. And if you don't know what CornerMarket is, we're a Web3 marketplace where we help businesses take crypto as a form of payment. There's a really big friction when it comes to real world assets. How do we actually do something with this internet money? And we have a big goal to tackle that.
Okay. So, what's the difference between what you do and what, say, I don't know, Coinbase Commerce does?
Yeah, so what Coinbase Commerce does is the difference between us is we're a Web3 marketplace. So I like to say we created Craigslist for business owners.
Okay.
Where a person would download the CornerMarket app, GPS would show them businesses nearby that all take crypto. Once they find the item of their choice, they're able to contact that merchant through our platform.
Okay.
They're able to purchase a digital voucher, and before they go to that business to redeem that voucher, they can then see if they like that item. So once they arrive to that business, they're like, all right, I like this item. I'd love to redeem this for this offer. And once they do so, funds go directly to that merchant. For what we do over here at CornerMarket, we onboard that merchant to our platform by simply introducing them, onboarding them to a centralized exchange such as Coinbase in the US, Binance globally. And what we would do is we would copy and paste their contract address to our platform, help them onboard their products, no different than they would do similar to them onboarding their products to a Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist.
Right.
It's that same introductory, and so we've built a platform to introduce businesses to now have control of their business and products powered by blockchain.
It sounds like the difference between, some businesses need to retroactively fit crypto or other technology, or maybe like an old building was built in the 20s, and now we need to refit it for the internet and Ethernet cables and this and that. And a lot of companies nowadays we need to retrofit blockchain. But it sounds like you're creating a company from the ground up with blockchain infused that will compete with Craigslist. So instead of Craigslist having to try to figure out a way to integrate crypto, you're building yours with that from the ground up?
Correct. Yeah, we've been bootstrapping it, and we've been recent graduates of the XRPL, Berkeley University.
What's XRPL?
XRP, Ripple. They have their own accelerator where they just launched. So we were we were a part of their very first ever cohort, and so what we do with that is we're helping bridge and make XRP a usable form of payment. So you would have XRP, and then it automatically being converted into a stable coin. And one of the partnerships that we have with XRP or Ripple is they're launching, and this is a very touchy subject because it is, it's that money, but it's CBDCs. What we've done is we partnered with Ripple to help understand how they're rolling out their CBDC program. And so they partnered with countries. And so when they had recently partnered with Colombia. And so this past year, we went out to Colombia to see how they were introducing people to...
I didn't know Ripple was helping countries with their CBDCs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Ripple, XRPL, they're very popular. They're a lot of countries are now accepting XRP as a form of payment, and so they had partnered with the country of Colombia. We went down to see how they were utilizing it, and so what we were doing is we're supporting XRP being a form of payment, through our platform as well.
So if you don't know all the details on this, I don't know much, so you don't have to tell me much to teach me something.
Yeah.
But is Is Ripple trying to be the CBDC for these nations, or are they trying to help their nations develop their own digital peso or whatever?
It's a little bit of both, actually.
Okay.
And so, but they're partnering with these different countries, and they're rolling out a CBDC product. They have it on their website, and it's just been widely known. And so we were just blessed to be a part of their cohort. To see how they were rolling it out. As our mission is to introduce blockchain crypto adoption to people, and what better partnership to have is one of the biggest projects out there that actually beat the SEC and Gary.
But it is, it's funny how they're on one hand seen as like adversarial against big government, and so they're sort of the David versus Goliath. But on the other hand, they're working with governments, so there's
a double-edged sword, and it doesn't really make sense. And and that's why I speak on it in such a touchy way, because I'm really about decentralization. I'm all about the power being in the people. And so when we talk about technology, I like to support those, but also you have to understand how things are being built and how things are being had. You can't just turn a naked eye because you don't disagree with something. You have to learn why you don't disagree with it. And see how things are actually being said and done.
Right. There are these. I know I learned a lot in my 20s about being this ideal. We can talk a little bit about politics too, because you're doing some work there. But I was pretty. And I think this is common on college campuses. You'll see people, they're going to change the world. They're going to do something revolutionary. And when you get older, you realize, well, it's usually less about creating something whole cloth and taking down the old system and starting new. Usually the way it works is you work with the old and kind of come to some sort of blend, I guess. And I guess that's what Ripple's trying to do with these existing nation states is like, hey, let's work with you. We don't have to fight. We can cooperate and try to get the best of both worlds, I guess. And is that the way you see it with working with Ripple?
Yeah, I definitely do, because they have the partnerships. When we talk about a crypto project that's actually partnering with countries, Ripple's the first and well known to do it. And they solve the issue when it comes to cross-border payments. If I were to send money to you, and no matter where you are in the world, and it comes to you within seconds, and you don't have to go to a Western Union and all these other ones that that you then would accrue hefty fees. Those are the biggest issues that come with transferable money. You're either going to get taxed for it, for even sending it to someone, or you have all these different roadblocks to actually, get it from point A to point B.
Gosh. Well, where does Bitcoin Lightning fit into all this?
Yeah, Bitcoin Lightning. So we actually are working towards supporting Bitcoin. We actually are building our own DEX. It's called BitCore Exchange. We've partnered with Core DAO, which is a Bitcoin EVM compatible blockchain.
I've never heard that before.
I know,
Bitcoin EVM.
Everyone's trying to build on top of Bitcoin. So we're launching on the Core DAO, and so we'll be bridging people from our DEX to have them adopt our app, CornerMarket. Now actually use Bitcoin through our platform. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I was getting that a little confused with either EVM with Ethereum, but this isn't Ethereum. This is Bitcoin native or Bitcoin on the Bitcoin
native. But EVM is how we is basically the smart contract. Integration to different blockchains. So for us to have our own token on Polygon, it's a EVM version of. But it all comes from Ethereum, because Ethereum is the first.
Okay, so EVM is synonymous with Ethereum.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's why I've never heard Bitcoin EVM before. But okay, well, we can get into the weeds, I guess, as much as, and maybe some listeners would appreciate that. I don't know, like where are you at with the company then? Yeah,
so the company right now, we are currently in over 200 businesses in 5 countries: U.S., Mexico, El Salvador, Colombia, and Argentina. For the past year, we've been just building in the bear market. We started out actually about a year ago. In January of 2023, we started out in Palo Alto, and we started from all walks of the life. So I'm the CMO. I had retired in crypto in 2021, and I was living in LA teaching crypto classes for free, just teaching people how to make money in the DeFi.
So you did well in the last cycle?
Did well in the bear cycle, last cycle, correct. I'm a DeFi guy, so the high API, high rewards, or the 1,000% APR, all that stuff. But I was teaching classes out in LA, and then one of the founders, he liked my passion. He's like, I have this idea. I would really like for you to come on and be the CMO and help me build out the team. And so me being my energetic self, I said, sure, man, let's do it. What is this big issue that you want to tackle? And the big issue that he started to notice is that he comes from a banking background, and he saw every time that a good apple was being accepted, there was a lot of, somewhat good apples and bad apples that were being denied. And there was a big issue where a lot of business owners are being denied because the most smallest fractions that are on their, on their account when it comes to credit. And he said, well, I'd love to build a platform where we're able to help businesses raise funding, eliminate transaction fees, and actually help them with marketing. So that's what we do over here at CornerMarket. We've been able to build this business out for the past year, being accepted to different accelerators, XRPL, Berkeley University, and SAY and One Piece Labs incubators. These are different ecosystems that we've been able to support and get support from for us to be able to bridge this universal adoption of cryptocurrency. And so
providing businesses with credit is quite a different business than people selling stuff to each other.
Yeah, let me explain it to you.
Okay.
So normally business owners are getting charged 2.4 to as high as 3.7% using our competitors. What we do over here at CornerMarket is we have a sliding scale model where we're able to charge a business from 0 to 2%. In the 0%
for a transaction.
For transactions.
Yeah.
How do you charge a business in 0%? Well, what we've done is we reinvented the punch card method. After the 10th customer, you would sell that product or service to CornerMarket, the 11th customer, and then we would sell it to the 12th customer. Really cool, kind of creative way where we're able to give a business 10 customers before we actually charge them. And it's typically in the fractional of what they're selling. If they're selling coffee, they may be selling coffee at $5 or $10, but it really only costs them $1. Mm-hmm. And so what we're doing is we're helping businesses find new customers through our platform and eliminate some of the transaction fees that typically give them a hurdle when they're scaling their business.
Right.
2, normally when a business owner applies for a loan, they get denied. They don't have the credit or the history. Well, they can use the CornerMarket app, offer their services and products in a digital gift card. Now that merchant gets the funds up front. And as a shopper who just bought that gift card, they can redeem it with each new visit. So it's a really cool, creative way. If I'm looking to raise $5,000 to get a new coffee maker, I can offer discounts to coffee through the digital gift card, vouchers on CornerMarket. My community that I have a relationship with, they purchase the gift cards. Each new week, I didn't pay back that loan with the coffee that they're purchasing and coming in for.
So it's a more efficient way to raise money, or a novel way to raise money through retail.
Through retail and the natural relationships that businesses...
Not through a loan in the bank.
Correct. And the services that you would already offer to someone.
But if they need a big loan...
They need a really good discount. They need a really good discount, or they just need a community that's really looking to support them.
It's kind of a crowdfunding.
Correct.
A blend of crowdfunding and retail and.
Correct. Through and that's the power that we're looking to show that this is a community-based app.
That's a novel.
And then if someone doesn't want to get charged in the 0% model, great. They can we have a 1%. We normally just charge a flat fee. And then let's say someone in your neighborhood that wants to start taking crypto. Well, you can introduce them as you can become a CornerMarket agent, refer a business to our platform. When you do so, you'll charge that business a flat fee of just 2%, 1% going to CornerMarket and 1% going to you. Charge and passive income. So you'll earn 1% passive income every transaction from that business that you introduce.
Right. Yeah, you're going to have to come up with some kind of way to scale this fast, right? Because if you're going to sell these businesses on the idea of raising funds through mass amounts of retail, you need the customers on your platform. Correct. So I suppose that's where Denise comes in, huh?
Yeah. And even yourself, as you guys talking crypto.
Sure.
Where are you guys going to use your crypto? Well, let's go start onboarding people to the platform, and now we can use crypto at our favorite establishments. My suit that I wear, I purchased. I actually onboarded my suit guy here in Maplewood, Knight's Chamber, and my barber. All the things that I naturally go about on doing in my everyday life, I say, hey, you're using Square, you're using these guys, and they're charging you. Use our platform, we'll highlight you.
Boy, it's just so much about making it trending, making it popular to get that network effect. Yeah. So I guess that's like you're the driver behind that, right? Because I've seen so many good ideas, right? And we've all had good ideas, right? I do video work and stuff, and you can have 100 great ideas for a project, but it's all about execution and just, kind of striking while the iron is hot. And so you've got to, assuming everything you're saying about your tech is sound and works smoothly, but you got to have that base. You got to have all those customers. So
yeah. And so we with us traveling the world, we started to see some of our base, and that's why we bunkered down in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
And so we're headquartered in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
We originally started out in Palo Alto, and we saw some of the friction when it comes to introducing people to this tech. When we talk crypto, you don't want to say that word to a normal individual. It scares them.
Yeah.
We talk blockchain, it scares them. They don't know what that means. They think it's a scam, rug pulls. They've only heard the negative. And so what we do is we introduce our tech to businesses by understanding what their pain problem is.
Okay.
We already know that your pain problem is too many high fees.
Yeah.
We know that you don't have a marketing budget. We know that you're needing a new way to actually raise capital. Let us introduce you to our platform that is literally free, that you can download to the corner through the App Store, Android and Apple, and we'll walk you through how to receive this new form of payment that is a form of payment. And no matter whether they're using a meme token at point of sale, it'll automatically convert into a stable coin. So we have a close partnership with Circle, where we're helping businesses take USDC, in that regard.
And if I had it on my phone and I wanted to buy a suit from your tailor,
GPS will show you that it's out of Maple Grove, and you're able to Knight's Chamber. You would then show up to his establishment. He definitely knows CornerMarket. You purchase that customized suit at a discounted rate that you would normally pay otherwise.
There are like promotions to get people onto the app and paying. And what would I pay him with?
What do you currently have in your wallet?
You take all kinds of different.
We take all kinds of different cryptos, as long as you're on the BNB or Polygon blockchain, it'll automatically convert into a stable coin.
Okay.
We have QuickSwap, PancakeSwap, and CrowdFinance and DragonSwap integrated into the backend for the different blockchains.
Oh, so that allows you to cast a wider net. So I could pay in an obscure token on Polygon, and it would.
As long as that pair has some liquidity on that.
Yeah.
DEX. Correct.
I could pay with Chainlink on Polygon.
Correct. And we have some good friends over at Chainlink as well.
Okay. So the business owner doesn't need to accept Chainlink necessarily.
No, they don't.
They just need to accept the stable coin.
Yeah, and they'll always get a stable coin at point of sale.
Okay, got it.
And that's one of the biggest things that we come across when we're introducing our tech to merchants. They want to accept Bitcoin, but next day Bitcoin has dropped 50%, 15%, whatever the case may be, and then they still have to pay their employees. They still have to have overhead. And so what we want to do is really show folks that you can take crypto, and then at point of sale, it'll automatically convert into a stable coin where you're always going to get that 1-for-1 value, which is what people are really aiming for.
Is there much to show online? Like, is there a beta, or is this project is it live?
We're completely live. We're on the Android and App Store. You guys can find us all, or even with our website. We can walk you through our agent program, our merchants. You slide down to the bottom of the page. We have merchants that actually are talking on about CornerMarket. You slide up just a little bit more. Boom, boom, boom. Yep.
Oh, okay. Here's a few testimonials.
Yeah.
Got it. A lot of art dealers.
Art. Yep. Art. Artists. Food trucks. Yeah. A whole plethora of businesses.
Okay. So the challenge now, well, you just got to bring people on. You got to get merchants and customers, it sounds like. Yeah.
Yeah. And so our goal this year is to onboard 2,000 merchants that would bring in 50,000 users. And with our upcoming token launch, some of those incentives will then drive that. Different markets are really excited. When you talk about a token launch, people want to be a part of the future direction of it. And when people interacting with our CornerMarket program and our different partnerships that we're announcing, they'll be able to do so and be a part of the future.
What's the website?
CornerMarket.co is our website.
Okay.
You guys can follow us on social media as well, at CornerMarket app. On Twitter, or X is like we like to call it now, Instagram, and then also on Medium. We have a bunch of articles that we drop weekly in that regard.
Okay. And then if a business accepts CornerMarket, do you have like a little little plaque or a little sign? So if a business accepts CornerMarket, they get a QR code branded by CornerMarket. Yeah. So people can now go in and use their MetaMask wallet or whatever wallet they are currently using and be able to pay, peer-to-peer to that merchant. We are chain friendly. I like to say I don't want to discriminate towards chains, but when it comes to we've met a lot of Bitcoin people. We were at Bitcoin Miami last year, and I will be at Bitcoin Miami this year. Bitcoin Nashville this year, sorry. Yeah, that's right.
It's Nashville. And what we are looking to aim to do is just really solve the simplicity of crypto.
Yeah.
So whether that's introducing Bitcoin individuals to our platform, we're totally open to it. But what I've come across when it comes to Bitcoin, anything outside Bitcoin, they say is a S coin.
Yeah.
I can't curse on your show, but they call it that. So it's really hard to, when we talk about bridging and being, hey, it's all about community. And, there's still a divide in this space because, Bitcoin is the first crypto to really drop. It is, money. And, when we talk about individuals who won't even talk Bitcoin, they don't spend their Bitcoin. So it's like, true. All right, what are we going to do? We just hold it forever? And that's a big issue.
That's actually a really good point. Is that some friction? Like, would you tell Bitcoin people, because they might tell you, well, you need to take Bitcoin. That's the only true money. The other stuff is just garbage. Well, but do you tell them, well, look, we will, but no one spends their Bitcoin. And we're able to get a lot, because I think this happened in El Salvador when they it's like, okay, we're going to open up our country to blockchain, crypto, Bitcoin. But what they found was that very few people sent Bitcoin. Yep. Most people sent USDC or Tether.
Yep.
And is that your experience as well?
That is my experience. We went to Latin America, and people were familiar with USDT, and so we started to support that through our platform.
Okay.
So each market that we've come to, we've gotten the invite from people that we've come across different conferences. We sponsored a lot of conferences all last year, and everyone kept saying, "Go to Latin America. A lot of these countries have failing fiat. Your app and how you onboard people is so simple. You should definitely do something around in this regard." And so we went to these different countries and started introducing and started seeing the bigger friction that is really happening. Outside of Bitcoin, everyone wants to talk Bitcoin, but even with Bitcoin, it's still slow when it comes to some of the speeds, and there's still high, fees when it comes to Bitcoin.
Outside of Lightning.
Correct. Outside of Lightning.
Yeah.
But, even talking that terms, people don't understand Lightning.
True.
When it comes on the ground level, they just know Bitcoin. And so us going to these go into some of the Latin countries and wanting to be an option to show them that you can take fiat and it can be a digitalized version of it, and you can actually have ownership of it. And this is how you do so.
I still think the world, the developing world, thinks in terms of dollars.
Correct.
This is what someone posted, a Bitcoiner posted about Africa.
Correct.
He said, hey, no one cares about Bitcoin. Or that's not true. But very few people know or understand or even care to really talk about this new money. It's like, stable coins, dollars. Like that's there. So if you can give them a USDC, they're much more open to that. And I don't know, I guess that's your experience in Latin America too, huh?
It was a night-and-day experience.
Bitcoin just might not be ready for buying coffees and that kind of. It can work for that. I know they do it, but.
I just know. I've seen it. I'm on the ground level. And when you can buy something, and because I've purchased things to show, because what we do is we'll show someone our app and we'll say, hey, we'll even purchase something through here, and so you can see how it works. And when we buy something for $2, which is a lot of money in pesos from many other countries, people's eyes light up, and I've seen the light. And that's why I have this energy, because I see, hey, we could come down here, and there's people that are literally in lines waiting hours to convert their currency because it fluctuates so much at banks.
And to US dollars.
To US dollars, or something that's more stable.
Or USDC or Tether or whatever.
And I said, hey, it'd be awesome if we just have our CornerMarket agents go out to these banks and just onboard people to our app through their waiting in the line. So if they're going in to convert their Chilean peso, they can do it through our app with a lower fee and actually turn it into a stable coin.
So do you have are you like a general looking to or like any business developer really, like, okay, which markets should we look at, because you've got limited resources, you don't have unlimited money, so or people, so okay, which front should we attack? Should we spend time in Santiago? Should we spend time in San Juan, Puerto Rico? What's kind of on the roadmap for you, because the world is so big and there's so many potential markets? So our bread and butter is always going to be Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas every year. Right now, South by Southwest is happening. Consensus is coming up. And so
Austin, Texas is one of our hubs, so we're looking to continue to bridge and expand more of our reach there. We have around 25 businesses that take CornerMarket down there in Austin. Mm-hmm. We would love to reach that to over 200.
Get that cowboy boot store.
Cowboy boots.
Yeah, or was that San Antonio?
No, it's definitely Austin, Texas.
There's a famous cowboy boot store. I can't remember which city it's in. Maybe they both have them. I don't know.
Definitely have them in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
And as we expand, we're looking to go to more markets. And so some of the markets we've gotten the invite to: Venezuela, South Africa. Yeah, Venezuela. Failing fiat. I know there's a lot of conversation.
Well, sure, but Venezuela,
I know.
Did you go there?
No, we have not gone there, but we've gotten the invite from some of our on ground reps. So those are the next markets that they're asking us to come out. And,
what do governments think of you, or don't they think of you because you're not big enough really to get on your radar?
No, we're not that big, and if we were that big, I'll be the person they'll have the conversation with. And but really, what we saw is we're outside of the matrix.
Right.
We're outside of that game that people want to say that you have to be controlled one way.
Sure, but a state might not like that.
A state might not like it, but it's already unfortunately here outside of me.
I agree. But if they can pinpoint it on you, like, would you go to Cuba and pitch this on the ground?
Easily.
Would.
I would. I wouldn't be my español es muy poquito. Mi español esposa over here would be the person. But we have been to these markets, and I say this because going to Bogota, going to Medellin, going to Argentina, going to these different these areas that I've been on the ground with.
Sure.
People are excited to receive USDC.
Sure, I think those are friendly. Those are pretty friendly countries. I'm talking Venezuela, Cuba.
Even with that, we were warned about going to Colombia, and we didn't. The cartel,
because of the crime, or because of the government.
All this other stuff,
right?
Which I understand. I'm not disregarding the cartel. I understand that's a serious delegation. And my wife actually came across, a scary incident where they had to leave the area a lot sooner.
Yeah,
so we have come across those different scary introductions. But really, it's going where it's needed. When we talk about expansion of technology, it's going to go wherever there's internet, and internet's worldwide at this point. So yeah, I am definitely open to going to Venezuela, Cuba, and the reason why is because we go to the areas that are business savvy. It's not like I'm flying and going to the rough areas, which I understand there are rough areas, but there's rough areas here in the U.S.
Yeah, again, I'm differentiating crime from like state supporting you. Like if I was in Cuba.
Yeah.
And I did a story about a Cuban man who I didn't go there anticipating this, but he came up to me when he learned what I did because I was on this traveling network, social network. He said, "Hey, I want to be interviewed." He's like, "Well, let's do it in the park, but we have to tell people, like if the police ask, don't worry, I'll tell them that we're just doing something." But what he really wanted to do was just sort of be a whistleblower, or he just wanted to lay it out there about life, like the elections and how they're sort of a sham. They'll just put up straw man candidates and da-da-da-da. And he just wanted to lay it all out there for an American YouTuber, really. My point is, though, is that if the police would have come over, it would have been a problem. And so I don't know if in Cuba, China, I'm guessing you wouldn't get very far trying this in North Korea. No. And so that's more what I'm talking about, is the threat from like the state.
Yeah, I understand. I actually just flew in from Hong Kong. So I'm coming from China about 3 weeks ago. And some of those areas are actually crypto friendly.
Sure.
Whether they say they may be publicizing and saying that the complete opposite, but I've been in the ground level. I just came from Thailand. There's crypto conferences happening in all these areas worldwide.
Yeah.
And when we talk about decentralization, I'm not looking, respectfully, we've been able to launch this app without any government support. Simply just support from our fellow crypto enthusiasts, whether that's a Berkeley University, whether that's a...
That's what offends these controlling governments.
I know.
Yeah.
But when we talk about entrepreneurship, if you get to an Elon Musk level, who can really say much? You're building your own rockets. You're doing your own things. Now it's very scary because you're outspoken in all these different regards. But really, the game is being played the same way. And
I love your naked ambition. Yeah, that's the world needs people like you.
We're not supposed. We weren't here. We aren't born to be controlled. It's just now it is. When we talk about the linear of thinking, working 40 years to do something. but sometimes you want to change. Something happens. You may get in a car accident. Something may in your life you have to alter. And cryptocurrency is what's altering our way of how we see financial. I've done the landlord life. I've done the books and author. I've done the speaking, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
But what really drove me down financial liberation was cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Being able to diversify my portfolio, do different blockchains, through different technologies, layer 1s, layer 2s, and able to scale and believe in it.
So then this is a good segue into you and your story. But real quick before CornerMarket, you were teaching classes on DeFi, and then one of the founders of this company approached you. Yep. So that's what you were doing for some time in LA, was just educating people and doing your own trading and things like that.
Yep.
In crypto.
My name is Crypto Magnet Online. So many years my background, motivational speaker, author, and all these titles. But before this, back in 2013, I was unfortunately homeless. Survived the summer of 2013 with $1.78. I met a mentor, and she asked me 2 questions. If money was never an option, what would you want your life to look like? At that time, I was broke. I said, fuck cars, women, food, for one. And the second question she asked, why isn't your life like that? And that was a paradigm shift for me, where the same reasons of excuses why my life wasn't like that, I could have reversed and actually asked why my life could be like that. Fast forward, I've now been able to manifest all those different things that I didn't have in the moment of lack. But it really started from just wanting more than what you're currently at. I always say, we all will make it out of here alive. We might as well enjoy the journey while we're here. I really am a big component that we're here to collaborate, make life a lot better than where it currently is. People always say they don't see color. It's not about you don't see color. It's how you treat color. And that's really how we really grow in this world. And so from being a homeless college kid to now having an international app, traveling the world, doing all this stuff. It really came from wanting more, not only for my life, but wanting more for others' life, people's lives, as well.
Yeah, there's sort of a spiritual side of it, like how you manifested these, just like the way you manifested this latest opportunity. You're putting yourself out there, you're teaching these classes, and the opportunity kind of came to you.
I left Minnesota. No one was talking crypto at that time.
What year?
This is 2021. I didn't know many people who were talking crypto in my circle as a speaker.
Oh, so you were in Minnesota until pretty recent.
Yeah, 2021.
And then you were teaching classes in LA.
Yeah, I left LA.
Had you made it by then?
No, I did not. I had not made it in crypto at all. No.
So it was only in the last couple of years.
Yeah, before then I was working as an overnight PCA for vulnerable adults for 5 years. People who have mental disabilities.
Doing that here
in Minneapolis. I was an activist with the community 15 Now. We helped raise minimum wage in St. Paul to $15 an hour. And I was a motivational speaker, traveling, talking. I wrote my first book called The Power of the Subconscious Mind, a pocketbook guide for prosperity, success, and happiness. And then my second book is called The Essence of Inspiration, the A to B Steps to a Richer Life. And after, speaking, traveling, being a holistic person, I wanted more than what I was really receiving and attracting.
So you were being a PCA and you were doing other things on the side as well? You said real estate?
Real estate. I was a landlord as well for the last 4 years. I just sold my property in December of 2023.
Wow. Yeah. So the PCA wasn't your only source of income. You were doing a lot of stuff.
The PCA actually was a stepping stone. I learned that you had to have good credit and you had to have a sustainable background of what industry that you're in. Unfortunately, throughout all my homelessness, I had to take out a lot of credit card. I filed bankruptcy at 23, rebuilt my credit, and bought my house, my first rental property, when I was 26. And so after going through all the credit rebuilding, learning all of how to basically be a landlord, before being a landlord, I did that and then bought my house in October of 2019 when I was 26 years old.
Wow. Well, what happened? You seem so ambitious, and your story seems to back up that life of just...
Yeah, so after graduating high school, I went to 3 colleges in 3 years. I went to Iowa Central Community College. I was part of 2 national champion teams, wrestling and cross country. After suffering my 9th concussion, I said, I'm done wrestling. I'm done trying to be this macho guy. There has to be something else out here. Then I transferred to Sierra Nevada College in Lake Tahoe. Very beautiful area. My family decided to move back to Tennessee. That's originally where I'm from. I'm originally from Memphis.
Oh, okay.
And so after doing that, after spending one semester in Sierra Nevada College, it was it was not affordable. It was $44,000 a year. I lasted a semester with my scholarships. And at that time, my mom was like, come back to Memphis. I was like, I didn't grow up in the South, don't want to go there. And I had met a guy out in Nevada. He said, Dinesh, you can come stay with me in Minnesota. We had met at a party. So I was like, cool, man, I'll come with you when I'm meeting in Minnesota. When I came to Minnesota, he thought I just wanted to party. He said, well, you can't really stay here. I was like, I just flew from Nevada all the back to Minnesota to stay just to figure.
And this is like 20.
This is 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, winter of 2012 when it was actually cold.
Oh, geez. Okay.
when it was actually.
And that's
cold.
when you were homeless.
Yeah, 2012. This is actually when it was cold.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out, so I sent out a tweet on Twitter. I said, hey, I'm looking for a place. People knew me in the wrestling community. And then one of my good friends from Prior Lake, his family, the Conkey family, I'll always give them, kudos. They let me stay in their place until I got accepted to every school in Minnesota, but I didn't have a car, license, or permit to get around. I saw a friend. She was going to St. Cloud State. I reached out to her on Wednesday. I jumped in her car on Friday. Went to St. Cloud State, and that's where basically I had this reinvention.
You reached out for a place to stay on Twitter?
On Twitter. This is Twitter saves lives. Twitter, they provide homes and they save lives. Yes, it happened on Twitter. I swear, as a kid, you're not.
Of all the social media, that's the last one I probably would have put something like that out there.
That was back when we were just talking on social media.
I guess, yeah.
Like everyone's just making status. I'm eating an apple.
Well, sure.
2012. So, but yeah, I was I'm very grateful. I went to St. Cloud State, and the only reason why I really went to school was for entrepreneurship. So my first year, I didn't buy any books. I took my student refund check, and I hired a company overseas to create my very first iPhone app. I created a video game called Zombie Doodle. It was a stick figure running downhill and zombies popping out of the ground.
You took your student loan check and you didn't go to class.
I went to class. I just didn't have any books.
Oh, okay.
And I lasted obviously one semester, but I really banked on myself. And fast forward.
Boy, you are just. I love it. It's unfettered ambition. Just I'm gonna do that, and you do it, and it doesn't seem to be much like second guessing.
No one gives a kid a loan unless it's for college.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, who's been able to transfer 3 different times, the only time they ever gave me money when I was trying to get for books.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the same equivalence of hiring this company overseas to create my iPhone app that I could potentially make money to pay for my college, or I can go to this and then have this book and have no money in college.
I love your focus.
So,
yeah.
Fast forward, here I am as that entrepreneur, and I've been blessed to go back to St. Cloud plenty of times as the entrepreneur, speaking, doing the Mark Zuckerberg speech, stay in school.
Did you graduate there?
Never graduated college. No, been a successful college dropout.
So from that app, you then did that take off?
No, the app did not take out. Put all my eggs in one basket. Learned a lot from it. Was homeless that summer of 2013.
Okay.
And then learned I had to get a job. I got a job as a debt collector that summer.
Okay.
And that is what really helped me learn how to articulate, learn the matrix, learn that, hey, you can have a degree and still be in lots of debt.
Yeah.
I'm in lots of debt with no degree.
Yeah.
All right, I had to figure this out. And so when I was at that job, I had a friend, she told me, Daenerys, you should really watch the movie called The Secret.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one.
And I watched it. I watched it for 30 days straight.
You watched it every day?
Every single day. I kid you not.
Okay.
And since then, that movie told me, it said, I started to pick myself up, started to really use the law of attraction as a form of my reality. And it ultimately led me down a book called, it's called Branding Yourself by Kyle Deckers and Eric Lacey.
What's it called?
Branding Yourself.
Okay.
And it said, do what professionals do, go where professionals go, and wear what professionals wear. I then, at 19 years old, joined the Chambers of Commerce in St. Cloud, Minnesota. I had my own blog. I basically reinvented myself as a self-help person that's had to self-help himself, and fast forward, been able to manifest from all these different, experiences.
You branded yourself as a self-help person before you were helped, or
you have to speak it into existence before it even is a reality.
Wow. Okay.
And so when I wrote my first book, I wrote all the titles behind all the books I was going to write.
So it's kind of like dress for the job you want.
Yeah.
Speak
it into existence and live up to it. Yeah.
Assume the role you want.
Yeah, it's literally the truth. I kid you not. And
so I mean, that's really something. So you were going to these Chamber of Commerce meetings as a self-help speaker, motivational speaker.
Launching a book, and my business at that time was called Words Worth Listening Academy.
Did you make money in that job?
As a speaker, starting out, you don't make money.
Yeah.
You're really just building a name and building a brand.
Well, how did you just did companies say, you know what, we'll have you come speak?
Yeah. When you go to enough chambers events where you're a bubbly, tan guy, well dressed, smiling, people want to really take notice of your story and want to give you an opportunity. And so I was very blessed that a lot of people supported me at that younger age, 19, 20, coming to speak with kids.
Talk about that. So what were some of your breaks in St. Cloud? Because St. Cloud's, it's predominantly white, and you would have stood out. Yes, I'm guessing young. You would have been younger than most people out there. You would have been black. You would have done all of this stuff. So, but they obviously, some of them took you under their wing, or they hired you. Yeah. What were some of your first gigs?
Country clubs. Literally coming to country clubs and speaking. My thing was called the power of positive thinking.
Okay.
So I had basically a slideshow walking people through the power of positive thinking. The different steps that we need to overcome, and then relating it to my story, what I had to overcome. From homeless to homeowner is also one of the things I was teaching or speaking on. How I was homeless and now I'm a landlord, speaking in this regard.
So was it sort of a feel-good story that they wanted to hear, and it was something different, or were people actually pretty moved and motivated from your talk?
I would say both, because I was at 19 starting mentoring people, 40, 50. Now I'm a life coach. So it really came from, hey, now we're learning your story. I'd love for you to speak to my son. He's 40. He needs to blah, blah, blah. Whatever age it was. Mm-hmm. And I was 19, guiding people to now be confident. And my confidence came from years of being a wrestler.
How old were you when you were homeless?
19. Literally, things can happen within a year. It happened that quick.
I'm just trying to get that timeline figured out. So,
19. The summer of 19.
29? No. You were 19 years old.
It was 2012, 2013. Mm-hmm. So that's when I was 19, and then 20 is when so basically when I was 19 and 20. My birthday is May 25th. So 2012 was the homeless outside the guy's party. Mm-hmm. 2013, put all my eggs in the basket for the app, thinking it was going to take off, and then I had to basically figure it out. So I was basically 20 years old.
And that was around the same time you were also suiting up and going to those Chamber of Commerce meetings?
Yeah, I went to, I would go to Goodwill and go get me a nice blazer and dress the part. Buy a $5 $20 suit and make it look like $1 million.
How self-conscious were you?
I was very self-conscious, but
they're gonna look at me. I'm an imposter. I'm wearing this cheap blazer. They're gonna know that.
I wasn't here to fit in. I was here to stand out.
Okay.
I was already the only tan person in the room.
So did you go big and wear a yellow or red blazer or something?
Fresh to death suit, blazer, or I had the Bill Cosby little wool one, But it literally was this photo. This is me literally at this age. I wrote this when I was 19. So this is a blazer from Goodwill, Savers out in St. Cloud. Same thing with the shirt. This is a $20, not even $10, outfit.
Did you ask yourself who am I to write? I mean, because everyone has that. I think most people have that imposter syndrome. Yeah. You must have been okay, come on. I mean, I'm so young. I haven't had much life behind me. How could I write a book to tell people how to live? I was just on the street 9 months ago.
Yeah, and I actually, I've always had this energy. I wrote my first book actually when I was in 4th grade. Mm-hmm. So I've always been a writer. It was just now having the opportunity to actually see myself in that light. And after having that mentor, she gave me all the Think and Grow Riches, all the, thinking, Robert Kiyosaki, all those different type of books, Bob Proctor. And then her mentor was actually Bob Proctor. And so she was good friends with Bob Proctor's wife. My mentor, she was at that time a 61-year-old woman. And so she had a lot more experience than me. She's the one who showed me, hey, you need to change the way you think. You have to change the crowd that you're around. You have to want it more than you're saying you want it. And having that accountability for someone that really believed at me at a time that I was still trying to gain that belief, that's really where I gained all that confidence, because I had people that were, bringing me to the table. And when I sat at the table, I wasn't the only one. Yeah, I may have been 19, but I was able to be blessed. By 22, I was on board of directors for nonprofits, Sparkwide out here in Minneapolis, which is a nonprofit that helps inner schools build aquaponic systems.
Oh, okay.
So I was a part of there. I was a part of NCAT, which is literature and African American culture out in St. Paul.
Did you find most of the opportunities came to you, or did you go and
I had to go.
Search for most of them?
The secret to success is going on Meetup, finding the title that you're looking to find, really go after, and going to those meetups and befriending those people who have those titles. So I did that. I went on Meetup one day. I saw there was some professional luncheon. Showed up, told them I was a speaker. Hey, we have some kids that we'd love for you to speak to.
Okay.
Every time I got those opportunities, I brought my own camera, my own videographer, and started to just scale my own brand by being the person who gave back. I give out books for free to people. That's my business card. I'm a giver rather than a taker, and so it's just been you have to create these opportunities. No one's going to give you an opportunity if you don't deserve it.
Right now, do you balance the personal work with the role of CMO? Or I should say, of course you do, but like, how do you do that right now?
Actually, it actually has been able to cultivate into both. Mm-hmm. So my passion to give back to the community, introduce people, and help them bridge. Now it's crypto. Now I can show you how to really turn $10 to $100 to $1,000 because I've done so. So I now show people, hey, you can make this internet money real. This is called liquidity providing. This is how you use these different pools. This is what a crypto project is. This is what a token is.
So these classes, is this like what you did in LA? These classes?
Yeah. Yep.
What were the pitfalls of doing that? Like, how many people did try that and then failed and then came to you and said, hey, what's up? I lost money.
Yeah. She's smiling. Cryptocurrency, everything's a high risk. None of this is financial advice, and it's all about just showing people that these things exist. And so a lot of the projects I show people, they were like daily ROI projects where your whole goal is to get in early. So I would introduce people to projects that you can get in early if you chose to, and this is what you would do. I would just do them regardless of anyone's say, and I would show folks this is how you would do so. So risk capital, use risk capital, whether that's your coffee money, not your retirement money, nothing like that. But if you have $5 that you're going to go and buy Starbucks with, I can show you how to turn $5 to $10 by getting into a low cap, project in that regard. And so I used to have my classes out in LA. It's a place called Crypto Fridays in Koreatown. 15 to 25 people attending my classes weekly, which ultimately manifested me to now have this position, traveling the world, having my own app.
And you had these classes even when everything was falling?
Yeah.
People were still interested?
Yeah. Everyone's looking for how to make money when no one's making money.
Well, sure.
And you don't really make money hodling. You make money hodling at the lower prices and selling at higher prices. Crypto is not a guaranteed get rich scheme. No, that's not what it is one bit. But there's ways for you to really be able to provide outside of the DeFi, degen stuff. I'm talking about the high risk. That's what I did.
Yeah.
But now there's more, liquidity providing. Things are more safer. Storing your funds on a Uniswap. Exchanges where you actually can provide and earn from the natural fees.
Sure.
That's more of the safer route, which is great. But most people don't have the capital to provide a $10,000 to earn, XY, 300% APY. You may only have $10. So let's start with $10 from this protocol that you can compound your interest and that's basically what I showed. How to basically turn, little something into something and be able to then turn that into more with your, different cash out methods.
High risk though.
High risk comes with high reward. And that's why I'm moving to Hawaii in the next 28 days.
You are special though. I think I'm not like you anyway. I don't think most people are. I think you're special so that you're able to get in and out and not get too affected by the what ifs.
Yeah.
That has never seemed to bother you. The what ifs.
And I have had some rug pulls. I definitely have lost $15,000 at the rug pull.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm so glad that I was able to compound to the point where I was able to have $15,000.
Yeah.
So I'm even grateful from that because there was a time that I didn't have this money.
Mm-hmm.
There's a time that I didn't have a house. And it's like the fact that I can even talk about that I can come up with my own internet. I can just trade my own time for my own money without having to put my own time in to create that money.
So what was it? So, you have a lot of credibility or a lot of experience, a lot of success, in a lot of different areas. Yeah. What was it about CornerMarket that said, I want to hitch my horse to that wagon?
Yeah, really one of the founders and his passion to really help small business. And what I understand that completely. I've always been a small business looking to scale and looking to get to point A to point B. Mm-hmm. If I go the traditional route, they're going to say I have to have this, I have to have that, I have to have this credit score, I have to have this background.
Yeah.
And if we're able to create a platform where we're able to eliminate these frictions and give the everyday business owner an opportunity to thrive and survive, that was my biggest key point. And when we started to get the invite to international countries, Colombia, Bogota, Medellin, all these different spots.
So that was by invite?
It was by invite from us, meeting people at different crypto conferences and saying, you should come to my country.
I want to see you at a conference. Like, how are you like in your element there?
I definitely am.
Are you just meeting, like, are you walking out there with 50 new contacts every day?
It is like that, and it's very fun because we met a lot of people in the bear market. And so now that there's a bull market, I can go to different conferences, and it's either Mr. President or it's, hey, Zanarius from CornerMarket.
You went to these bear market conferences and were the only happy one there.
Yeah. We're building tech, not just here to make money.
Yeah,
we're there to leave.
Right.
So yeah, we did it. We sponsored in NYC last year, NYC NFT last year.
Yep.
We were sponsors of Bitcoin Miami down there.
Did you feel out of place at NYC NFT because you don't do anything in that market with CornerMarket?
We were just introducing people to us in that market, and so we were we had our own stand out there.
Oh, like sell your NFTs on CornerMarket.
Sell your shirt. Anything.
Okay.
Everything on our app is an NFT backed by a real life product, service, or experience. So we basically created the Web3 version of Groupon. That's what I like to say. Groupon, you're going to log into the app. It's going to show you discounted products all in your area. You buy that digital voucher, go to that business and redeem it. We created the same model just by Web3. And so, that's...
okay. That's
a short way to really explain what we created. And so the reason why we went to NYC is that everyone is... we wanted to have more of our brand out there, obviously, showing different markets. But NYC, food trucks, all those different businesses, and just showing people that, hey, you guys are getting charged lots of fees because everyone wants to come over here and give you a service provider. But our app is just a unique way where they can actually choose which way that they want to be charged. And so when you actually, as a merchant, onboard your products and services, you have a sliding scale where you get to choose how you want to be charged, whether it's the 0% model, the 1%, or if someone referred you, they would slide it to the 2%.
You're new and you're up against the giants like Coinbase and their Coinbase Commerce, so you have to convince them why your network, your options are superior.
Yeah, and even with Coinbase, we've partnered with Coinbase's wallet. So as a merchant, we onboard them to Coinbase, and once they off-ramp their USDC back into their bank account, they receive zero fees. And so that's one of the really big benefits for us to be a big advocate for Coinbase, is we're going to get these business owners some stable coins, and then when they cash out, they're not accruing any of the fees completely. So imagine I'm going to make a couple $1,000s with my business through the CornerMarket app. I transfer it out back to my Coinbase. I accrue no fee while using that. I accrue no fee while cashing out app. That's basically I'm basically giving you cash through a digital version of it through our platform. That's basically the off-ramping and on-ramping experience that we've been able to cultivate.
And what's the token for? And talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So we're launching our CornerMarket token, which is the CMT token. It's already on CoinGecko.
Country Music Television.
I know. I said the same thing. Hope it goes viral because people, hey.
Well, you are from Memphis.
Yes, I am. And so, it's going to be a governance token where people can then vote in the direction of where they will love to see the organization go.
Okay.
So really, CornerMarket is a DAO that we're looking to give off to the community. We built this tech where if you want to be a part of the direction and voting of which new market, which new benefit, which new addition, you would then have the CornerMarket token. And if you want to be a part of accruing passive income, be a CornerMarket agent, go out and onboard merchants through our platform. They'll get charged 2%, 1% going to us, 1% going to you, where you're able to be a part of this.
Will some of the rewards be paid in your token?
Some of the rewards can be paid in the token. That is another benefit. Another thing with our token is that you can stake it and also receive some of the airdrops from some of the new tokens that will be onboarded to our platform. So we do have a really cool partnership that I will announce here. We're announcing a partnership right now with Dash. So if you know Dash is one of the OGs in the space. We just did an interview yesterday with them as well. And so what our goal is to do with Dash is partner CornerMarket agents alongside Dash agents. So now Dash advocates can go out and onboard people to the CornerMarket app, where now people can use Dash through the CornerMarket app at these different establishments.
One of our regular volunteers or committee members of MN Blockchain's a big Dash guy.
Yeah.
He'd be happy to hear that.
Yeah, Dash is really unique. I love them. Got to speak with them, literally yesterday. As that interview will be dropped in April,
but they're not accepted in most of these. Like that, you can't buy and sell Dash on Coinbase, can you?
Some of these places you cannot, and so what we're doing is we're building more.
It's like Monero. It's kind of outside even the crypto system.
Like and so what we're doing is building more of a back end to support some of them in that regard. So
for like a direct use of one particular crypto, like Dash.
Yep.
Because there's probably an underground world of Dash users, like there is Monero, right?
There actually really is, and I didn't understand that to that severity until I really got to talk to them yesterday.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, oh, I need to start checking out Dash a lot more. I know I'm a DJ guy, so
yeah,
I'm in a different realm over there.
Yeah, in terms of like, I don't know, like anonymity and that kind of thing, you might have some of these real public-facing cryptos, and then Bitcoin guys tend to be a little more behind the scenes. Yep. But those Dash and Monero guys and gals, I think they're even more.
Yeah, they are. Sure.
Anonymous. Yep. So that's an interesting.
And it's a right for privacy.
Yeah.
Our funding, our right of privacy of our funding, and that's what they're trying to take away, and that's what they're trying to introduce with CBDCs. I know this because I'm at the table. I've seen the conversation they're having, and we want to completely do the opposite. We're at the table with them, and we just want to make sure that we're commingling and understanding how to educate people when these technologies roll out as they already have. FedNow, it's already been rolled out.
Yeah, boy, from working from Ripple to Dash, you really are spanning the crypto world in terms of institutionalization. Honestly, it's so humbling because both sides are very controversial. At the True.
least. So, but I'm at the table with both of them, talking and seeing how they're even surviving. They've been around for quite some time. How do you avoid Gary? How do you do this successfully? And how do you build an organization?
Are they a fork of Bitcoin, Dash?
Yes, they are. They are a fork of Bitcoin, and another version that's doing quite well.
Yeah,
$509 million market cap is what I saw this morning.
Okay. What's Monero? That's quite a bit bigger, isn't it?
That's like a couple billion, probably like that.
So CornerMarket will also be a launch pad?
It is a launch pad. So
for other tokens?
Correct. So if you want to onboard your token to the CornerMarket app, it is a launch pad as well. And so that's again, as we stated, you can use any crypto token as a form of payment. We have a toggle on our app of what the ones that we do accept. But let's say you wanted to onboard, your own token,
So through that function of using any token with any significant liquidity, that's an invitation for other tokens to start? Or do you see that as sort of a good soil from which new projects can grow? Is that the kind of the idea of adding a launch pad to it?
If you guys are dropping your own token, how do you have a use case for it? It's either going to be there's buying, trading, selling, great. But let's say you onboard it to the CornerMarket app, and people can now purchase.
My guess is if we had a Bitcoin guy here, this is where he'd be like, "Oh, you only need one. Bitcoin's money."
Yeah, I know. And then even though it's that token that you're spending your own token, it's going to be a stable coin that's converted.
Right.
And the things that we have integrated into our app. So it's a very easy process. We've onboarded some upcoming projects to our platform. We're just excited that we're looking to bridge an opportunity for all people who in that regard.
Okay. I think I mispronounced your name from the start. I think I said denarius. It's denarius?
Yep, denarius. And
denarius.
It's Roman for currency. So denarius is actually money. It's a Roman coin.
Oh, yeah, denarii.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. It is actually unfortunately, it's the coin that they overprinted and actually inflated, and it was the collapse of the Roman Empire. So I'm looking to rebuild the next one.
This is like you hearing a voice from the past, maybe from The Secret, like, you need to fulfill your destiny. You're the one. Your name.
Neo.
It's him. When you walked into a room, did people say that about you? Like, it's the one the oracle foretold.
As you're saying that, she's smiling because she knows that people are actually like that, and it's like
You mean people have sometimes said like, "Oh, we've been waiting for a guy like you," or
either that, or they're saying, "Oh, have you ever seen Game of Thrones?"
Why? What happened there?
There's a woman named Daenerys Targaryen, and she's a blonde lady who has dragons, and so.
Oh, that's her name is Daenerys?
Daenerys, yeah.
Oh,
but it's
really?
Not spelled like this. It's spelled like the dragon way of the Game of Thrones way.
How dragons spell it with their pens.
The owner would spell their name.
They write with fire.
Yeah.
They etch it into a building like graffiti.
with their fiery scroll.
That's what my dragon pals tell me.
Yeah. So
if they can do it well, they can get one out of each nostril. That's how they. Another fine work. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we have one more area to touch on, and and to me, it kind of speaks and I'm glad it's at the end here because it speaks to your story as like a guy that kind of just this naked ambition, and you put it right out there on your LinkedIn. I think that's like the first thing I see is candidate for president.
Yeah.
President of what? President. President. Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah. So
talk about that.
My name is Aries. I'm the man of many titles, but one of the titles I'm striving to go for is the United States of America's president in 2028. I know that's a big title for some, but really I've always been doing these things for the community without the title. Here in Minneapolis, we actually did a homeless survival kit drive and suit drive where we gave food out and suits out to people in need alongside Nice Chamber in Maple Grove, one of my good friends and partners. And being a person who's helped here in Minneapolis raise minimum wage with the community with 15 Now, being a community organizer, we helped raise minimum wage out for $15 an hour out in St. Paul, Minnesota. Been a really big advocate for the People's Now campaign. For 7 years, I was a part of the Brooklyn Center Police Department. I was a part of their academy. And what I was doing with them, I was a part of their council working with police departments. I created an organization called Pose with a Cop, where we changed the narrative between policing and community, doing ride-alongs, really helping people understand the friction that many of these police officers have going into these communities. I did an interview sitting down with Officer Sarah Fry, really on the ground level. March with Black Lives Matter was the introductory of the family of Dante Wright, introductory of the family of...
what does that mean, introductory?
Fernando Castile, he had opened up his his museum that was opened. So I was the one who introduced his family at that award ceremony.
Oh, wow, okay.
So I was part of an organization called Ujamaa Place out in St. Paul, which helps introduce men back into the society who have criminal backgrounds.
Okay.
So I was a person helping men rebrand themselves, helping build their social media.
So you created a brand of being like a real community advocate.
Correct. And so being a person who's always about for the people, me going for presidency is me seeing the world as a larger picture. What I'm looking to build is the United States of DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization where we actually have our country actually being measured through the votes that we actually can measure that by blockchain technology. Yeah. Right now, we know our votes. Unfortunately, some people will say that don't matter. Mm-hmm. We know the Electoral College. We know these people who actually make the decisions for us, and it's all just a game that we're unfortunately still being played upon. We had popularity vote a couple years ago, and that didn't work. And then the opposite person won. And now we saw even if I say I'm versus right versus left, it's division in the conversation as a whole. And if I say I'm an independent, you say you can't even win then. And it's like, well, what if a person who has a voice that can rally and radicalize people to actually see that they want a better future, and there's technology to then show that there can be a more transparent future? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Blockchain is going to solve that. And that's the reason why we see our governance really fight this. I know this because I built a decentralized platform without the government's approval to now say, hey, we didn't need you. And when you talk about a real society, if you see a pothole in your neighborhood, you can go to Home Depot and fix it yourself. But the problem is when you do so, you might get fined by the city. Why? Why can't I see the change that my taxes go to? Why can't I actually see every time when my check comes out, I actually see where that money's going? Sure. Blockchain will solve that. Transparency and funding. And government does not want that. Well, I would love to introduce a DAO, United States of DAO, which I have a mini white paper on my LinkedIn, a mini white paper that I've written about this integration of technology to our forefronts, where we can actually measure an equitable society rather than use these key terms without any key measurements.
Maybe you don't care about this because you just do your own thing, and I really admire that about you. But when I look at the landscape of crypto adoption, blockchain adoption, it is a partisan issue. That's just the reality of it. And when we've spoke to lawmakers here in Minnesota, they've all been Republican. Yep. Except we did speak with the auditor. But there are no Democratic lawmakers that we've ever... Dean Phillips' office did... I believe, so there are a couple of exceptions, but the state lawmakers, state senators, state reps, have all been Republican, and there have been like 5 of them. Nationally, right? And this kind of makes sense when it comes to Republicans tending to be for economic freedom and Democrats being more for like consumer protection. Yeah. Then you've had Elizabeth Warren and others say, hey, we need to be careful about this stuff, which again, as a cautionary tale, she's right. There are risks and people have lost their shirts and bankruptcies and da-da-da-da. But you've then, in this partisan time, established this partisanship so that it's Tom Emmer and it's other Republicans that are really saying we need to be pro blockchain and all this. But you don't strike me as someone who, or at least in terms of what you've supported, these have been more progressive causes. So here, to me, is a rare progressive who's saying, hey, this is about transparency. This is about counting the votes. This is about doing these things. I just don't hear that very much coming from people who are progressive. So I think that's great.
Yeah, and I have worked with the Republican Party. I was a campaign manager for a guy running for mayor in Minneapolis a couple of years ago, Jonathan Hornerbrink, and I've been at the table with Republicans. I've been at the table with all the different titles that people want to live up to. And it's unfortunate when you put someone in a position, they get there, they get complacent, they have a nice, comfy salary, and some of them may even trade in office. This is a Nancy Pelosi joke. But people get complacent, and then they forget who actually put them there.
Sure.
And as a person who's been at the ground level, who's still at the ground level, I may have a suit, but I'm still flying and talking to the taqueria. I'm still talking to the mom and pop shop. I have a food truck. One of my favorite gyro shops down in Texas, Austin, Texas, and he reached out to me, and he uses me as a frame of reference because he trusts me, and someone had tried to basically scam him. You know, all these scams come out. I was like, don't you give them your Solana. You hold your own Solana, hold your own stuff, hold your own keys, do these other own things. Because I've met people who are looking for a way out that they traditionally have never come across.
Right.
I see the person who's having to work 12 hours a day to just try to make ends meet, and I understand it. My mom worked 25 years at Walmart. Fast forward, been blessed to now have one of my books at Walmart, where my family has always tried to. Your family can only introduce you to as far as they know. My family's all worked at Walmart. I'm the one person who said, I don't want to work there. I don't want to work at Sam's Club. No, nothing there. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do this completely different. And I'd rather struggle to figure it out. And as we try to struggle to find the answers that we are seeking for our country, it really starts with having open, transparent dialogue. It's us addressing these boundaries and these frictions and these the right versus left dialogue, the white versus black dialogue. Now we're having the migrant dialogue. It's another way to divide us rather than actually help us actually see what the bigger picture is.
What party would you run under?
Yeah, everyone asks us that question, and I have to say, I'm morally an independent, but I have to wear the hat as a Democrat because we have a two-party system, and they don't even entertain the third one. And so, really, if I have to wear a hat, I will wear none of them and say I'm an outspoken individual who wants to help everyone be outspoken alongside us.
What about the darkness? And by that I mean like the real dark stuff. I don't want to sound conspiratorial, but like the dark money, the bribing, the deals, like we all know about, and this is really dark, but like heads of state involved at Epstein Island, and some of the really dark and dirty and just like, do you even want to go there, or do you think I can just separate myself from that, or even separate that office from that? It seems like power has corrupted these positions in the darkest ways. I can go there and shine a little light on it, or at least drag it back into a more moral, ethical place.
That would be the hope and the aim. From my history, literally being in the self-help space, understanding the core, what keeps this space even alive, which is this darkness, is we have to clean the swamp, is what they would say. And it's a lot easier to say than do because of bureaucracy, and there takes votes and democracy and all these other things. And most people aren't going to vote for the right thing. They're going to vote for the party's interest. And so if we are going to, and in crypto, we talk about trust the code. Yeah. Trust the code over the people. So why can't we build something that builds code that actually verify all the things that we need to be verified? No different than when we get KYC for an exchange. Yeah. We have to do the video and all that stuff. We have to show all this stuff. I'm sure we can add these new formats to make voting easier.
But that is such a conservative talking point. Like Democrats would hate you for saying this stuff.
I'm sure they would, but these things already exist, and it would simplify and it would restrict a lot of the voter suppression that we continue to see.
I guess it's about whether you're going to be able to cut through that division.
I think it may not be talking to them. It may be talking alongside the youth.
Yeah.
Because it's really youth. I'm 30 right now. So that's why I said 2028. I plant this seed.
Yeah.
And all I've been doing is traveling the world, meeting the people, going to Hong Kong, meeting the different countries that they say that's a communist, and actually going there and seeing that this place is actually very well kept.
Mm-hmm.
I see the society. I have a lot of Chinese people that I know, and I'm like, I have been lied to. And when someone says, don't go to Colombia, you're going to get killed. I just came back from Colombia. I have some friends out there. We have a station. When someone says I like to actually experience it for myself because, we were told, go to school, get good grades, and graduate, and you'll get a good job. Figure out sometimes when you get to graduate, there's no job for you because now AI is here.
Yeah, right, right. Well, I love your energy. I love that you've manifested this life that's been rags to riches, or
rags to cryptos, and
rags to abundance, or something. Rags to being comfortable, or whatever you want to classify yourself as.
Father of 2 cats.
Okay, well, there's that too. Cat lover. So cornermarket.co.
Yeah.
And will we see you at our upcoming meetup?
Yeah. On the 25th,
yeah.
I told her, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I got my hair done, and did everything just for the look good on camera for you guys. So
thank you, and thanks for the time so much, and keep up all the great work. We look forward to following you, and the books.
Yeah, guys, you guys can follow me on social media. My name is Denarius Lewis. I have 2 books you guys can find on Amazon and also Walmart. The Power of the Subconscious Mind, a pocketbook guide for prosperity, success, and happiness. And then my second book is called The Essence of Inspiration, an 80 Steps to a Richer Life. I wrote this book where I met many people, but they would always integrate the word but. Hey, I want to do this, but. And I, as a person, I read a book called Excuses Be Gone. And that book is basically what helped me build this book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, where you're the one who talks to yourself. You might as well talk yourself up rather than talk yourself down.
All right. Well, that's a good way to end. All right. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate your time.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Bye.